Before we go live, I have a quick question.
Oh, okay. We're definitely already clicked go live, but go for it.
Okay, is Hawkeye now going to be following after War Machine's footsteps?
Oh, I don't know if that's the kind of question to ask when we've just gone live.
Oh gosh. All right, that just happened. Okay.
Don't worry, no one's watching yet. Right,
Yeah, well, that's on the internet now, so that's Jeremy Renner can punch me in the face later, and everyone else.
Yeah, they can definitely hear us. Okay, so if you can hear us, Geek Battle will be going live momentarily. We're trying out a new studio, so just enjoy the music, which is terrible. Oh, Dave is back. We're live, Dave. They can hear this.
Yeah, they're live. I've dug myself that hole.
Okay, let's fade out this music. Let's fade out this music and say, boom, we're live, and hello, and welcome to the Geek Battle Show. Today, for the first time, simulcasting on both the Extreme Improv Extreme YouTube channel as well as the Geek Battle YouTube channel. So this is one of the fancy new things you can do with the fact that we are on both. We are on StreamYard, is that we can be on multiple YouTube channels at the same time. I hear some weird buzzing. Does anyone else hear that?
I think it's just you, David.
Okay. I think it's you. You've got Daleks behind you, Dave. Right, so this is the first show of 2023. So welcome, greetings. It is time to get freaky. It is time to get geeky. Oh, we have some comments coming in. So this, like, oh, I can hear you. Says the gallant hero. Look at that, and we can show the comments on the screen.
Oh my god,
that's so cool! I love it.
Yeah, lots of fancy stuff going on. But we've obscured your name, Dave, just because you've got the Geek Battle logo over you. Still figuring out the design, audience. Still figuring out the design. But we are going to battle like it's 2023. And on today's show, we've lost Marty. This may not be good stuff, right? We lost Dave a minute ago before we started. We've now lost Marty. But we're going to give some predictions for the things that are going to happen in 2023 in movies, in television, in video games, in comic books, in anything geeky. We can react and respond. We can also go over things that we got in our Christmas stockings. So, have to change some browser settings. Oh, for goodness sakes, Cap. Right, so Cap may or may not make it. Look, this is my fault for going. Look, we're live now, so we're going to keep rolling. Dave is frozen. Audience, no, Dave is back. Right, so let's just introduce ourselves before we completely lose everything. Dave, say hello to the people.
Oh, do I need to give a geek fact as well, or is it just an introduction
please.
this year? Okay. So, hello to the people. My name is Dave MC, and I am from Paris, France. And my geek fact is a Dalek-based one, surprisingly. So, in 2011, we were introduced to the Paradigm Daleks. So, these chunky guys here, also nicknamed by Project Dalek as the Teletubby Daleks for their multitude of colors. Originally, their design on the big section just at the back here. Originally, the weapons, the guns, were interchangeable with other attachments. So they could have heavy guns, flamethrowers, claws. A multitude of weapons would be stored in the back of the Paradigm.
Oh, wow. Fascinating stuff. Definitely worth a bonus point. Now then, coming over to Tim. Say hello to the people and give us a random geek fact.
Hey, I'm Tim. I'm from Providence, Rhode Island, and a random geek fact is, this is really not a geek fact in a way, but when you smell a baked good, it probably means that it has reached a uniform temperature and it can no longer absorb heat, so it begins to vaporize particles in the air. So that tends to be the case of like, ooh, maybe my baked good has now reached a uniform temperature and I can take it out of the oven.
Wow, I literally don't know what to say to that. But that's fantastic. Oh, hang on, Capelthave may be joining. Capelthave. Look, it says something. Cap, can you hear us?
Please start setup webcam. Please start.
This is a new year. We're trying some stuff out.
I think
Go
so.
on,
Capelthave has evolved into text.
Yeah,
he is now quasi Dalek.
Yeah, he is like an AI cat. This is my fault, though, audience. Just because. Oh, hang on. Device not connected. Oh, right. So I sort of said like 15 minutes ago, hey, we're going to join on this new thing. Now, I was just confident with it because the last Slam Jam show of the year last year, me and Corey did it and it worked flawlessly. But evidently that was just trying it with like two of us. And I didn't take into account that, this just might not be as easy as I thought. Marty, have you said hello to the people yet?
No, I have not. But
Thank God.
This is Marty in Atlanta, Georgia. How are y'all doing?
Yeah, good. Do you have a geek fact?
It's a pretty simple one, but I was just after seeing Black Panther over the break, the newest Black Panther movie. They introduced Namor in the film, and not a lot of people realize that Namor is one of the first superheroes ever created. He's from way back in 1939. It was his first appearance.
Wow. I don't really look. I haven't seen Black Panther yet. It's been a lot of stuff going on. To be honest, I don't intend to, just because I've got it so that I can like screen share, as you can see here. And one of the headlines I looked just for looking for some like geeky stuff to talk about was here: Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Disney Plus premiere date confirmed. Why would I pay to see this at the cinema when it is going to be on Disney Plus? And what is that? Let's see, February 1st.
You pay to see it in cinema because it's an experience in of itself.
Yeah, it's really good movie.
No, I'm sure it is. I can't wait to see it on Disney Plus.
I also have a bad joke, like not a bad joke, but I could lead up to one. Namor could be also the function of a very talkative horse. Like nay,
more.
Nay.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Excellent bonus point, Tim. Now then.
Oh, that's the geek fact I would get the bonus point on. I'm just gonna keep rolling with these bad jokes. Then I'm gonna win each show.
If Tim wins tonight based on a horse joke, it's amazing.
Well, I don't want to hear any more jokes, so please don't do that no more.
Look.
Fist bump, woo!
We're all horsing around, and I think it's because the stream isn't that stable.
Fist bump.
Yes, there we go. Woo! So anyway,
Hey.
in fact, it is the beginning of 2023. Did anyone get anything geeky over Christmas? Did anyone do anything geeky or watch anything geeky over Christmas? Dave, tell us things.
Well, my wife got me the miniature version of the Dalek that I'm currently constructing.
Amazing.
And it came with the invisible version as well. Well, I know it's visible, but it's invisible.
Oh wow! What's the idea of that? Why is it invisible?
So it was in John Pertwee's run, so the Third Doctor. The Daleks had a plan on a planet called Spyridon, in which the species there had adapted to be invisible, and the Daleks themselves, they were trying to mimic that ability, so they were trying to be invisible, but they could only be invisible for up to 2 hours. Right. And afterwards, because there was an incredible strain of power on their bodies, so they would die afterwards.
Okay, that's amazing. Who was the Doctor?
John Pertwee.
Oh, okay, yeah, you did say. Right. Anyone else do anything geeky? Get anything geeky over Christmas? Watch anything geeky or freaky? Oh my God, is that a Boba Fett or is that
the Mandalorian?
Fantastic.
Yeah, and then I got this too, but then they accidentally decapitated him. I don't know, body horn.
He has no body.
No, Grogu's been cut in half, Darth Maul style.
But he'll come back as Darth Maul did for a tiny appearance in Solo, never to be seen again.
About it.
Yeah. Okay. How about you, Marty? What was your geek experience over the holiday season?
Well, we've had a lot of visitors here, so we weren't able to go see any other geeky movies or anything. But I got a Doctor Strange ornament for my tree.
Nice.
I'd show it to you, but it's still on the tree downstairs. My tree, if anyone hasn't seen, it's all superhero and pop culture ornaments. And it used to be a tabletop tree, and this year my wife bought a 6-foot silver tree that stands on the floor. So So I have like a legit tall tree filled with superheroes and such. So,
But is the top of it the bat signal?
no, the top of it is actually the Falcon as Captain America.
Oh,
Because of his wingspan, he looks really good up on top of the tree.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Did anyone see any movies or like go to the cinema or anything over the last couple of weeks?
I
Not
saw
so much go to the cinema.
Go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
No, Tim, go ahead. That's much more geeky than what I was going to say.
I saw Avatar: The Way of Water.
Yeah, give us your thoughts.
A lot, like part of it was like, wow, this is. I feel like you could take out maybe 15 to 20 minutes of the National Geographic part of it, but honestly, like it was fun, and it brings back the rivalry that I didn't think was that important in the previous movie. But then they add like a Cloud City moment where it's like, come on, like seriously, I don't have to. Come, you don't have to Star Wars this too. Specifically, episode 5.
Okay, so when you saw the film, was it like I don't even know with Avatar, like Avatar 2, is it a 3D film with the glasses again, or is that just?
I think it was, but I went on a Tuesday matinee for $5, so I would say
$5. You get to go to the cinema for $5. Like
$5.
it's going to be like £4 UK.
Yeah, £4 UK. Oh, that's
yeah. No, that's crazy. Like they charge like £15 to go to the cinema here. Oh look, Cap has
Wow.
back.
But that's 3D.
No way, Cap has made it. He is muted. Cap, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Go back to the text, Cap.
Don't worry. Look, we're sorting out a new technology. Cap, I believe in you. You've got this. You can do it. Now, here's one of the things I've heard, just as Cap's sorting out. Danny O'George may be joining us as well. One of the things that surprised me about Avatar is it's like I heard, it's already crossed $1 billion.
Yeah.
And what I've been thinking for like the last 4 years when they've said about this film. Hello, Cap.
Hey,
Finally, there we go. You done it.
What's up, Ducks?
What's up, Ducks? Cap, we will come back to.
I feel naked without my background, though.
I know. Like, I don't have a video background either. It's terrible. But look, Cap. Look, hang on. Photo of your tree, please, Marty. And then look, see that is from the Gallant Hero, who is one of our few watchers that have found this on this channel. But you can bring up the comments on the screen. Do you see that, guys? Look at that.
That's
Fancy stuff.
That's pretty
Now,
cool.
yeah, Avatar. For like the last 4 years, I've been just thinking to myself, I don't think anyone's going to care about this film. I think this is some sort of like conspiracy thing. I don't believe $1 billion worth of people have gone to see this film.
I mean, I think James Cameron himself has really good.
He's gone to see it that many times.
I don't know. I think the first Avatar was groundbreaking. This one was like, oh, it's a pretty decent story, and the 3D effects were, you can still tell it's 3D, but it was decent.
I think with Avatar is that I think it was never that much of a big thing when it comes to story or like characters. I didn't actually feel that way, but the technology was the best thing about it. Is that like it was amazing seeing something that was really good visually. And it's, again, 2, I would say the same thing with it. It's visually very pleasing. But other than that, it doesn't have that much hold on you.
Yeah, like I would like to see it. I've not seen it yet, but I feel like the funny thing before I go see like this 4-hour film or whatever it is.
Yeah, it was long.
Yeah, I feel compelled that I need to watch the first one again, and I just don't think I've got that much life left, So.
I think I should hand in my geek license when I say I haven't seen Avatar.
No,
Wow. Not even the first one?
Is it even that big a deal? Like, I know it's like $3 billion, but
it's like saying I haven't seen a Transformers movie. It's like you didn't miss much. There's explosions and robots and Michael Bay.
have you seen Dances with Wolves?
Dances with Wolves?
Yeah.
No.
Have you seen Fern Gully?
Yes.
It is Fern Gully.
You've seen Avatar.
You have seen Avatar. Okay, have you seen Fur Gully? And have you seen Papa Smurf once he's been to the gym for like 6 weeks? because that is it. It's a roided up Smurf, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, let's move on to some other stuff. Unless Cap, is there anything geeky that you've seen in the last couple of weeks? Someone got their kettle on as well. There's like
Yeah. What is that noise?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll mute that because it's my washing machine.
Oh.
I thought somebody was dropping a bomb on us.
No.
Yeah, Cap, what have you seen? Tell us things. Well, give us a geek fact.
I've only watched The Punisher, which was not very recent. It's very old. I finished
Wait,
watching
which version?
the Netflix one.
Oh, I've not seen that.
John Bernthal. I like John Bernthal as an actor and as a sort of a person.
Yeah, it is really good. The show is pretty good, but it's kind of depressing, though. I mean, I didn't feel any good about it. Like, even the happy moments, it was sad throughout, but it kind of fits the gritty world of the Punisher, I guess. My favorite character was Curtis, though. I think he was like the light in all of that dark and glim stuff. It was odd seeing Prince Caspian play the villain. That was the one thing that's like I couldn't take it. It's like I've seen this dude in Narnia. It's like he's like the asshole character in this one, but he does it well. But that's so far the geeky things I've seen. But the news I've heard is like Disney have a new CEO, and what is that duck with Dave?
That's a Dalek. That's a Dalek Cap.
Wait, haven't Disney had a new CEO for a while now?
No. So it changed back. Yeah, they changed. So it was a Bob Iger's. Is it Bob Iger's back in?
He's back in.
Yeah, Bob Iger's
so
back.
Chapek is out, or Chepek as we call him at the office.
Chepek.
Chepek and
oh, hang on one second.
Iger's
I've got
back
Danny O'George here as well.
Hello.
Hello. Oh my God, we can only see 6 of us on screen. Who have we lost? Oh no, that is.
There was only 5 of you before I joined, so.
Shut up, Danny. I can't count. Right. Okay. How are you, Danny?
I'm doing well. I literally just came home from work.
Amazing.
And you look great and bright.
So
Thank
apparently we've had a flip reversal on the CEOs of Disney, and all sorts of stuff has happened over the last couple of weeks. Danny, I'll just cut into you. Have you done anything geeky? Seen anything geeky? Did you get anything geeky over Christmas, or do you have like a random geek fact or anything to share with us at the beginning stage?
Not anything to hand. I mean, I have this, but this is neither a fact or anything. It's just a plushie of a Moogle from Final Fantasy. But someone did gift me on Steam the remake of DuckTales, the NES game, the first one.
Amazing.
We've lost Marty. I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's probably for the best. So it's because we suddenly start. He's like, "Oh, video games. I'm out of here." Right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's cool. I like how they've expanded upon the original game and sort of added new elements to it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So, DuckTales, that was like a classic back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
That was the funny thing about the DuckTales game, because that's one where you play as Scrooge McDuck and he springs on his stick, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, weirdly, on the most recent Donkey Kong Country game, they made you could play as Cranky Kong, and he could do that exact same move. So that's a trivia point for you guys.
Interesting.
So one of the themes of today is predictions for 2023 in the world of geekness, be it cinema, television, Marvel, DC, comic books, video games, whatever you like. Has anyone got any bold predictions that we can check? See the progress throughout the year of things to come.
Well, going back to Final Fantasy for a moment.
Yeah.
Now there have been rumors that they're going to be remaking Final Fantasy IX.
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah. Basically, there was some sort of leak which came out that sort of confirmed the announcement of the remake of Final Fantasy VII and the announcement of Kingdom Hearts 4 and a couple of other games from Square Enix. And among this leak was the topic of a remake of Final Fantasy IX. And since everything else in the list has already been confirmed at this stage, it would make sense that at some point this year they would confirm or deny whether a remake of Final Fantasy IX is going to actually happen.
I think Final Fantasy IX is one of those games where they should just let it be. I don't think they need to remake that.
I know. I mean, to be fair, you could say the same about 7, really. But
no, but 7 was good. I wanted a remake of that. I don't want 9 because I didn't like it. No, I'm joking. No, genuinely though. Okay, I'm joking. I think they should remake it. I didn't like Final Fantasy IX. Loved 7. Preferred 8, and I know that's controversial. 9 I couldn't get into. The card game in it wasn't as good as number 8's.
I know, but having played there's a mod that you can download for the original Final Fantasy IX called Alternate Fantasy, and it greatly enhances like the gameplay, and it adds in some previously deleted stuff that's still in the game data. So if they sort of draw from that, I'm sure they can make a great and even better version of Final Fantasy IX. I mean, who doesn't want to see Zidane in like actual 3D?
Yeah, I need to know what species is he, because I've confused him with a cat and a monkey. So
well, he's got a monkey's tail, basically. So
okay, so hang on a second here, because I do worry for Marty, right? That Marty just doesn't know what Zidane is. So I'm going to use this opportunity. I'm going to bring up an image of Zidane, and
make sure it's not the French.
Before you do that, maybe you should ask if I care.
No, you will care. The reason you're going to care is because I'm going to screen share it, because now I can. And so that is Zidane. So what creature do you think that is, Marty?
You mean that weird-looking chick?
That weird-looking chick.
I had him confused with the girl as well when I first saw him in Danny's.
Is that not a chick?
That's a dude.
That's I don't know.
Well,
Who's
dude,
no.
He's kind of
his cool brother.
If you go back to that picture there, that the big one, Zidane's wife.
Well, hang on. Let's go on this. This looks like the official artwork. Oh my god, cookies! What's all this? Right. So there we go. Now we can actually see these things on screen. Now adverts. Look, I'm just giving free advertising. I'm going to get in trouble on YouTube.
Yeah, let's go. It's I don't know. I was
just
going
a
more.
Guy with he's a furry. He's got. The situation here is he's got a butt plug with a tail attached to it.
Oh dear.
I was going more off the hairdo, and that screamed female to me for some reason.
I mean,
it did for me as well when I saw it in Daddy's Twitch, and he confirmed that he's a dude and apparently a monkey, not a cat.
Maybe he's a sane.
A monkey and a cat.
I thought he was a cat.
Maybe
no, he doesn't have the ears for it. There is also a rat. There's a character that is basically a giant, like humanoid rat. Which, now that I'm saying it out loud, probably I'm not selling the game to anyone watching right now who's not heard of it before.
Okay, so just because I feel like Marty is going to just like scream in a minute because we haven't spoken about a movie adaptation of Batman as of yet. Right. Let's just go. Has anyone else got any bold predictions, or that if we've heard rumor mills of remakes or things coming out, anything people want to predict for the year upcoming? Tim,
I think we're going to see a shift in how TV shows are made. Like, there's a lot of talk about how the golden age of streaming is over, and you're going to see a little bit more budget-friendly creative options. Unless it's Lord of the Rings by Amazon, the second season. But I think honestly, we'll see a shift in how people consume television. I guess TV shows next year.
Okay, so what do you think we're going to get though? So if you had to predict how it's going to, what is the shift? How are we going to consume it?
Well, I think we'll see a little bit less CGI, maybe more drama based, and then so character-driven story arcs. I was reading about For All Mankind, the third season, and how it just seemed to be like this collection of out of this world problems all lumped into one season. So it just seems like, there's going to be a little bit less of the CGI stuff and more of the acting. And, we'll probably see a couple of, I'm looking forward to seeing the new creatives bringing their talent and attention and energy. And that'll be fun to to see what comes out in the next couple of months.
Yeah. Cap, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, because there was a thing that they're saying that currently, because there's not a lot of streaming services and not all of them are making money, and casual cable TV is actually doing well, and it's not actually going down as they thought it would. And a lot of people, I think mainly people like the age who don't care about superheroes or any cartoons or any sort of stuff like that, are pretty much okay with, like Tim said, the drama TV, that normal acting, not CGI messes. They're being very. I think like Yellowstone is one of those shows. They're like normal human shows with no CGI or anything like that, but it's doing very well on cable.
Yeah.
Tim, do you mean like a lot of like indie stuff in particular?
I think it could be impacted by indie because indie's generally cheaper. You gotta have to make do with less. So you'll definitely see some new creatives get hired, or that market will be a little bit more accessible. I'm just looking forward to seeing what happens as people are shifting their interests and trying to see it from a post-pandemic perspective is going to be interesting, because you're seeing the technology stocks go down. They were bloated in price during the pandemic, and the streaming channels were also bloated because those were the things that were being consumed. But what happens now with the shift in the market, and what can we look forward to? Some cool. I'm looking forward to some cool that like Star Wars fan tweet short clips that you see on YouTube, like the one where it's like a minute long and the detail on the Star Destroyer, just perfect. Like let's start recruiting these passionate people to do like real Star Wars, not like Star Wars an awkward piece, like Star Wars an awesome battle.
Yeah. It's weird because we were speaking about this like a few weeks ago when we were saying all about the Henry Cavill stuff, that they seem to get people to make stuff who don't actually seem to aren't fans of what it is that they're tasked to make. And there's been like so much backlash probably for a few years now, just over like, oh, they're making this and it's nothing like what the fans wanted, and then people seem angry at the fans for not supporting it, but they're like, but this isn't what we were fans of. It feels like at some point they just, as an experiment, get some fans of something to make the new thing.
That's why the guy who did the Witcher with Nightmare of the Wolf kind of took a shot at the Witcher creators who didn't respect like the source material and were not fans of the books or the games. And he's now in charge of redoing the X-Men, and his outlet said that he's not going to hire anyone who's not a fan of the old show, because otherwise, then what you're doing here. I mean, I don't want to go to that extreme. I think you can still be able to work on something that you don't. Yeah, or maybe in the extreme sake you should. But you should be able to work on things that maybe you're not a fan of, but you're just good at the job. I think, yeah, opportunity in that sense is good as well. But I would say in the creative standpoints, you need to have people who actually do love what they're actually doing.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Tim?
You reminded me of an interview I saw of Sam Witwer, who played Starkiller in the Vader's Apprentice game. I forget what it's called. He got the part by
Unleashed. Was it Star Wars Unleashed?
I think so. Yeah. Force Unleashed, and he got the part by explaining how Starkiller meditates as he is trying to disassemble his lightsaber through the Force. Starkiller's like looking stressed as he's meditating and like tense, because Starkiller is taught as a Sith to meditate. So there's no peace in that. So Sam Witwer explained his role and how he played Starkiller through that aspect, not being like a peaceful meditative, but more like there's tension in his meditation. And you want actors or people who understand the role from that sense.
Yeah,
you don't have to be a real geek, but like sort of to have a basic understanding of what the character and the storyline and the whole forces, the whole powers are.
Because so if just a quick word again, bring it on The Witcher again, is that when they were doing promotional material, you saw they did a public quiz like thing in YouTube where they asked like lore questions, and only Henry Cavill and the guy who did Dandelion actually read the comic books, and they were able to do well on the show. I think the actress who played Yennefer as well known a little bit. The other people have no idea what those characters are, and they're just, are there books of that? Oh, I only thought this was a game. Yeah, so.
Well, hey, what's the best word marketing but word of mouth? You know, if you wanna make a franchise more powerful, get the passionate fans there first and be like, oh my god, this is totally cool. And then, you know, the crosstalk eventually, if you have a good product, people are gonna want to see it. Even if it is the first game, two seasons of Game of Thrones, and then the last one's kind of like, you can miss that one.
Yeah. Let me just come back to Sam Witwer just 1 second here, because I don't know if any of you guys have played it. There was a video game, the Callisto Protocol, and Sam Witwer's in it, and he literally has force powers. And I was like, why have they just got? They were like, oh yeah, he was good in Star Wars. We'll just have him as the exact same character.
Interesting.
Yeah, he would literally go like that, and people fly across the room, and it's not a Star Wars game. But if you don't know does anyone here not know who Sam Witwer is?
I know the Star Wars games that.
Right, so but like the weird thing, I brought up his IMDb just because I wanted to make sure it was him. He's like the ultimate nerd. So if you get him in stuff, like literally his credits, he does a lot of voiceover stuff. But the first time I saw him, he played Doomsday in Smallville.
Ooh.
And yeah, right. And then he was in the Star Wars thing as Star Killer. He then took over being Darth Maul, like the voice of Darth Maul. He was in Supergirl as Brainiac. You know, he's just like everything he's done here. Riverdale, the video game Days Gone, like just everything. Star Wars, Disney stuff.
Did he do Mafia 3 as well?
Oh, I don't know. Like, what year was that? That
was probably like 2015.
He was in The Mist.
The Mist. Okay, yeah, but like it's just like The Walking Dead. Just looking up here. I don't know. I can't spot that off the top of my head. Soul Calibur. It's like he's like the ultimate geek performer.
Wow.
Yeah. So shout out to Sam Witwer, who I'm sure is watching this right now. So anyway, Cap, I think I interrupted. Just you were about to come back in with something.
No, I was just saying that bringing in fans in would provide more coverage. It will give you such a good credit in the fandom where the shows be like, oh, I know this creative is interested in the show. I'm pretty sure he will do his best to do like that I liked in the stories or in the games. So that's always a good thing to have. I don't think dissing the fans is never a good thing you should do when you're actually doing shows that is based on nerdom or geekdom, if you like to call it.
Yeah.
Now, Dave, do you have some bold predictions for us, or is it? What have you got for us, Dave? You were muted.
I was muted. I don't know how that happened. I was just gonna add on that I think a lot of the studios mostly they focus mainly on like a general public audience rather than saying right, like Star Wars did this especially, right, we're going to focus this on the general public and not provide something for the fans as well. We'll throw in little bits for fans, but we're not going to cater specifically to them.
That makes sense.
But for that, I would say is that it like something like Star Wars, right? It had like huge success internationally.
Yeah.
Even the geek fans alone makes up a large number. So there's something that actually works for a large number of audience. So I think like putting those stuff, I think like even this year, everyone's a kind of a geek at this point. I think we've got on like Star Wars. We have a lot of people have access to a lot of geek stuff. I think this current era. So I think they would love it if you like treat them like proper geeks. It may even actually make them go check out other things that they will eventually become a fan of.
I think if you want to also increase the fan base, increase the characters that are there, Star Wars had Luke Skywalker and Leia Organa. When I was I just finished up the last episode of the second season of The Mandalorian, and it's 4 women that are clearing out the light cruiser, and the Mandalorian is just around, like, kind of sneaking around. And it's you want representation in a way. And I made a really stupid joke earlier in the show, but you want to increase the fan base, throw in more characters that are represent other people that can feel like they're a part of the show.
Yeah.
And do it well.
Yeah. Right characters who have like a conflict, and they're not just, I don't know. They have
But Tim, it doesn't work. We have to have a character that's strong from the beginning and has no story. There is no journey. The hero's journey does not exist anymore.
Oh no, it's not. It's we want, because that's all that we, when you see Master Chief, that's all you see is like, oh, I'm strong, I can kill things. No, it's like the story around him though is weak, and that's how he, that's how I guess that part works.
But again, you don't need that too much. Like Master Chief is a two-sided coin, I would say. I would say, like in the game, yeah, he showed no weakness, but in the show, he showed nothing but weakness, and he sucks.
Well, that's because it's a different take, and I forget Pablo Schreiber. He takes on complex characters, and from what I understand.
I think he's not alone. I think the script is kind of written off to be a very that kind of thing, which doesn't actually. I mean, I think if it was his performance alone, I think it would have been good. I think if he's going to do that, but I think the script made him like full on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's come on something which I think we were just covering at the end of last year when we last did a Geek Battle. Like, I think it's been said that within a couple of weeks' time, we're going to have like the new sense of what the next version of the DC universe is going to be at Warner Brothers. Like they've been showing posters for The Flash and Aquaman 2 and all these other things that are still going to come out, but we all know that they're pretty much dead in the water. What do we predict that we'll know by the end of the year in terms of the future of the DC universe?
I'm almost willing to buy your theory, David. James Gunn is here to destroy the DC universe.
He is, James Gunn has been sent by Marvel as, he is the kryptonite to take down Superman and the rest of the Justice League.
I guess I'm looking
how
forward
can you cancel it when you've still got like 4 films? Shazam, Aquaman, The Flash, there may even be another one. All of these movies, and what's that one? Blue Beetle. No one's even heard of that character, and he's already been cancelled. Right.
Blue Beetle.
Okay, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, though. It's like I genuinely, I don't know anything who he is. It sounds like a terrible character.
He's like
I've seen him in cartoons and also the Injustice 2 game right there. But
but if he's in the DCEU as they called it, and they've already announced that this is dead in the water before the characters even debuted, and they show like the poster and it's of the Flash, and there's like the new Supergirl, and it's like, well, there's no point to any of these things anymore.
I think Danny and David would agree with me on this, but anything with EU in it is already doomed to fail.
What's interesting is to see if Aaron Taylor Johnson's going to be the next Bond. I
saw something about that. I hope not.
Yeah, I don't see it.
I do.
Is he the guy from Bullet Train?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God, he did like the worst. All right, governor, I'm English accent.
Is he British?
The name's Bond.
I don't think so.
Is he British?
I think he is.
Yeah, he is.
Oh my God, we need to look this up. Well, the character he did in Bullet Train was like, all right, governor, how you doing there, mate? All right, mate.
That scene was awesome. I love that movie.
I don't see him as right for Bond. To be honest,
check him out in Tenet. Just check him out.
It says he's an English actor. Oh my God.
David.
That was his Cockney accent.
I have this innate fear now that Blofeld's going to turn around in the chair going, Mr. Bond, I see you met again. All right, Blofeld, Jim Cheree.
Like his Russian accent as Pietro was better than his Cockney accent, and it turns out he's English. Right, Marty.
Let me address something here since this go. I'm really tired of Hollywood using the same actors for so many different things. Aaron Taylor Johnson, Quicksilver, Quick Kick-Ass. He was in Godzilla. What else? He's going to be he's Kraven in the new Kraven movie.
Wow.
He doesn't need to be James Bond. There are a ton of other actors out there.
Like me.
Give him a chance. there's too much of this. They've got a pool of like, I don't know, 20 people, and they're just using them over, and and everybody's like, oh, now that DC's not going to use Henry Cavill, let's pull him into the MCU. No, let's not.
No.
Yeah, Henry Cavill should play James Bond.
That I'm okay with,
Maybe.
but not the MCU. I don't think you'll like
I'd
the
rather
MCU.
I'd rather him do it than Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah. No, I think you're completely right. Go ahead, Kat.
But here's a weird observation. So the guy we were talking about, he did Godzilla, and also he did Civil War, I think, back to back. And I think what's her name? The actress who played Scarlet.
Elizabeth Olsen.
Elizabeth Olsen. So in the Civil War, she was his sister, and in Godzilla, she was his wife. And I saw them both in the same time. And
What is it with Elizabeth Olsen? Has anyone seen Old Boy?
No.
What?
You've not seen Old Boy?
No.
With Josh Brolin.
I've seen the important bits of it.
Josh Brolin in Old Boy with Elizabeth Olsen.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, I can't give the spoiler now, but just what we've been talking about kind of is the story. I can't say. That's unbelievable. When you watch Old Boy, you'll understand. Anyone in the comments, if you've seen Old Boy, then you'll understand what Cap was just referring to.
Oh boy, Josh
David, turn on incognito mode.
I would just tell you, but it's a bit of a spoiler.
But like now, Josh Brolin is like two characters in the MCU now.
Yeah,
he is.
Well, yeah, but so is Chris Evans. He's Captain America and Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Well, now he's not Captain America, but he was.
And actually, Killmonger is also Johnny Storm.
Oh my God! Oh,
yeah.
Everyone is Johnny Storm at some point.
All right, Marty, you proved your point. Start hiring different actors.
I would say they did so much disservice to Michael B. Jordan on the Fantastic Four movie. Oh my God, that was so terrible. I hated the actor afterwards, and only after I seen Creed, I was like, okay, he's a good actor.
Yeah.
What kills me is I was actually looking forward to it because the first film that guy ever made is called Chronicle, and I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's really good. It's a good superhero film. But I heard that Fantastic Four was terrible.
What we see time and time again, although I don't know if there is an excuse for Fantastic Four, but I've heard that the director said, like, no one will ever see the film that he actually made and it was a good film. And I think it's probably better. But over and over again, because superhero films are expensive, like the studios, and same with Star Wars, they get nervous and they just like, oh, we need to change tons of bits and we'll keep throwing reshoot after reshoot until we get something right. But the weird thing with the Fantastic Four with Michael B. Jordan and whoever else in it is when you watch it, there are only 2 action scenes in the entire film.
Yeah.
And one of them is in the middle of the film just before like a 6-month time jump. And then you see like some news footage of them fighting someone or something or rescuing someone.
In the first, like the 2014 Godzilla, they did the same thing. Like they showed the monster and Godzilla show up at the airport, and they cut away from it. Like, no, show the fight. That's what we want to see.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, the first Godzilla movie was. Well, I haven't really thought any of the Godzilla movies were great, but the first one was just not great at all. I mean,
are you referring to the math?
What was Godzilla in it, like, 9 minutes total?
Are you referring to the one with Matthew Broderick?
No, I'm talking about the one with Bryan Cranston.
Oh.
I like the one with Matthew Broderick because it's just stupid and goofy and fun.
It's a lot of fish.
Yeah. I fell asleep during that one with Matthew Broderick.
Get out.
I was tired and I was a child.
Okay, let's just off the back of that. Are there any films? Was that at the cinema, Danny?
Yeah, that was at the cinema.
Okay, everyone must have done it at some point. Is there a movie that you've been to the cinema to see and you've fallen asleep whilst watching, Dave?
Zathura.
No way. Do you know what's so random about that? The film
What?
that I've got to say was the second Jumanji film with The Rock. And Sazora is a Jumanji spin-off, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember when that came out. I just went and saw it with a friend. I was just like,
Yeah. When I saw Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle or whatever it was, like I fell asleep for about 15 minutes in the middle. Yeah, I do actually like the film.
That was
but
the
that's
best
weird.
part,
That's a weird
David.
coincidence. Ah, damn. Marty, what did you fall asleep in?
Yeah, the only time I've ever fallen asleep in a movie was I went to see Fantasia for. This is back when they used to really.
What, back when it came out?
No, I'm not that old. when they would,
Wait.
you know, they would re-release it every 10 years in theaters, and this was back before DVDs and stuff. And right after Night at Bald Mountain, at the end, there's the Ave Maria scene where, you know, they defeated the devil, and now all these monks are walking up the mountain. And during the Ave Maria scene, I just conked out.
Wow. Okay, hang on. There's a comment I just need to share here. You guys should see it as well. It's from Jimmy Mack. He says, watch the original Old Boy. There was no reason to watch for the American remake. Now, Jimmy Mack, once again, I'm going to say the same as I'll say for everyone else. Elizabeth Olsen in it is the reason to watch the remake. Anyway.
So I did look it up, David, and no disrespect, but I don't think I'll be watching that.
Oh my God, it's such a good film, though. Genuinely such a good film.
It is a good movie?
Yeah, I like. Well, I've not seen the original because it's like I don't know where the original was from.
It's a South Korean film originally.
South Korean film. Okay. But I've only seen the remake.
I've not seen the film. I've only seen the important part of
it. When you say important parts, what do you mean?
I think
no, don't worry, don't answer.
I think the one that they just saw.
What's on the top of that duck's head?
What duck?
You had a duck. Okay. It looked like it was an ape. I wondered if it was a red dwarf, like a holly, not holly, a rimmer. Anyway, anyone else fallen asleep in the cinema?
I've not done it in the cinema, but I did see Airbender and I did fall asleep.
Wait, what, at home?
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't count. I've fallen asleep in everything.
What about, can we add on to this and say, what are there movies you've walked out of?
I've never gone through with it. I've paid. And so even if I hate it.
I've done it twice.
Really? Twice?
Yeah, twice.
Was it the times that it was Fantasia?
Yeah.
Like, oh, Gold Mountain's done, the good bit's over, off we go.
I would be embarrassed to say what they were, but I'll tell you if you want to know.
Yeah.
Debbie Does Dallas.
No.
Okay.
One was the Lou Ferrigno version of Hercules.
Lou Ferrigno version of Hercules? Wow.
Oh, look it up. It's horrible. And the other one was a comedy called Police Squad.
Frank Drebin.
Police Academy?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't the ones with Leslie Nielsen. It was Police something. It was a raunchy comedy, kind of in the vein of Airplane, but it was just so bad.
Police Academy?
No, not Police Academy.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so I think like those kind of parody style comedy films can be some of the worst because there's been a couple of times I've wanted to walk out, but then I haven't. One of them was the film Not Another Teen Movie. Now, I'd seen Scary Movie, but when that came out, I was young enough so that I thought, oh, this is really funny, even though it's terrible. And then they did like Disaster Movie and stuff like that. But then they did Not Another Teen Movie. And when you're doing a parody of like American Pie, which is already a comedy, you take the funny thing which they've worked out just to be funny, and then they stretch it further, and it wasn't at all funny. And I was like, what am I doing in this film? And then the other film I wanted to walk out of, and I've probably said this a dozen times on this show before, was Into the Woods with James Corden, which may have been the very worst film I've seen at the cinema.
Okay. No one will judge you for that.
Oh,
can I just say...
the movie I was talking about is called Night Patrol.
Night Patrol. Wow. Okay, Danny, you wanted to say?
Yeah, I was going to say, just very briefly going back to not another. I can't even say the name of the film. Not Another Teen Movie. Do you want to know who was in that film?
Yes.
Chris Evans.
Oh my god, he might have been. Yeah, I think you're right.
He was the main. He was the main guy.
Oh, what a loser!
Wow.
Captain America was in that film that you almost walked out of.
Oh, haven't I seen pictures of him from that movie, like with whipped cream over his nipples or something?
Let's look this up.
Yep.
Right, so Chris Evans whipped cream. Let's see if we can.
David, stop! David, stop!
Oh my god! I don't know if I can actually show this.
This is
Oh,
the
I was
whole
going to say, you're going to screen share this right now?
technology.
I was going to screen
for-
share it. I don't know if I can.
He's got a
For
tail.
those watching at home who haven't seen the film and want to know what we're talking about, there is a scene in Not Another Teen Movie where Chris Evans is wearing I think he's wearing like a whipped cream thing, and he's got something on the front of it, and then the girl rebuffs him, and then so he turns and leaves, and you see that he's got a banana on the other side.
No, David, no.
And yeah,
There we
it's
go.
out on his nipples
Look,
as
guys,
well.
if we're going to be on
God's
StreamYard,
sake.
then we have to use the benefits.
It's a
of it.
Hey Danny, it's a parody. I don't remember the other movie, but there's a movie about a football team, and Ali Larder is in it, and she comes out with whipped cream for her boyfriend, and it's a parody of that, I believe.
I see.
Let's
So
look
I
that
know,
up.
Can we do that one?
I can't show this on the show. I'm going to get banned.
Welcome to the
Oh my
whipped cream
God.
section of Geek Battle.
James Corden did it. Let's show you guys this.
What?
No.
No.
Open image in a new tab, and boom, here we go.
No, it looks
That's
like a
insane.
pair of eyeballs.
Oh my god.
He didn't even
Wow.
do it. That's not real whipped cream.
No,
Okay,
that's
Degrino.
like,
Oh, hang on. Let's bring up the comments. I always forget I can do this.
that's
Now.
like
Look like
meringue.
meringue.
Dave Green, Degrino says, "That's a hell of an image to see when I just started watching the show."
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Amazing stuff. Tim.
So I think I don't remember falling asleep at any movie, but I remember my dad telling me how he had taken me and my three brothers to see Joe Dirt, and there's no one else in the theater. So we basically ran up and down the aisle at some point, just not paying attention to the movie, but we stayed for the whole thing. So it's kind of like being kids and stuff, and poor David Spade. Poor David Spade.
I've never seen that movie.
It's good movie.
I
My
don't
brother
know.
quotes it, but I don't remember much from it.
So I don't know what film I was watching when this happened, but I was in the cinema and this family came in, and there was this
Unbelievable.
young child with them, and she throughout the whole film just kept turning around to everyone else and go, "Hello," like very loudly, just waving hello to everyone.
Oh my gosh.
They were trying to get her to stop talking, and I was like, "Oh, I can't even."
Oh, hang on.
The worst
Jimmy Mack
film-
says, "I walked out of The Fifth Element. I hate that movie. I
Oh,
always
I love
find
that movie.
What?
I find it hard to watch. I find it hard to follow."
Matt.
No! What's wrong with the Fifth Element? Oh my god! I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm over.
Look,
I'm just I think that's one of the best movies of the 90s.
no, I'm in agreement. I think it was so good that the second film that they had to make afterwards was just perfect. Oh no, wait, they didn't. Right, but I just didn't. I can't get into The Fifth Element, so I'm with Jimmy Mack on that one.
Right, so can we just? So are we saying then that because
You
Can I just
finally
say-
did it. You finally made Tim feel nerd rage.
Nerd!
just
Oh my
say-
god, I need to bring up a graphic that's just like nerd rage. Right.
So are we acknowledging that Jamie walked out of The Fifth Element? What a boron!
I don't get it, but he says it's so.
Boron is the fifth element on the periodic table.
Oh my god, Danny, that's far too intelligent for the
Damn.
show.
Well,
Holy
Danny,
I thought
Danny,
this
I
was
don't know
a
if you
geek.
heard.
Oh, sorry. I thought this was a nerd
Dave,
battle.
go for it.
It was a nerd
I
battle.
was gonna say,
You just won.
Danny, I don't know if you heard, they were going to make a sequel called The Element of Surprise.
Haha.
You
hang
know,
on, Danny.
Uh,
Right, like I'm going to put you on the spot here. What is the sixth element?
The sixth element. Oh God. The sixth
Google,
element.
Google, quick.
Google, Google.
Right, we need to know what
carbon.
the sixth element
It's
is.
carbon.
It's carbon.
Carbon.
Carbon. Wow.
Maybe that should be a geek battle thing. We should do like the the letters game where we say the names on the alphabet.
Periodic table.
Do it with the periodic table.
I genuinely explored that, but I found it too hard. It's like the NATO phonetic alphabet game. Like I learned, Alpha, Bravo, etc., Charlie, Delta. But learning like the periodic tables, I was like, I can't do this. So I haven't included it. But
David, I think that's the one you should have been learning in school, not the alphabet one.
I know. No, but at least it means that when I watch like films set in World War II or Vietnam or something, I understand when they're like Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot.
Charlie.
Yeah, exactly. So I understand those things now.
But there's a movie called A Food Fight. It had I think it was. I don't remember the actor. The guy from a parody movie, like Hot Shot. He was in it. That movie was so sickening to watch. Afterwards, I got sick with the flu.
I haven't seen Food Fight, but I've seen people review it on YouTube. It's oh gosh, I don't know.
Wait, it's the Charlie Sheen movie.
It's the Charlie Sheen movie. It's also got Ava Longoria in it, Hilary Duff,
Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady. I can't find it. Look, when I look up Food Fight, I see this. Food Fight.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's the movie.
That is it.
That's the movie.
That is it.
Oh my God.
It's like the room of animated movies.
Wait.
That woman is just traumatizing again.
Oh, and it's got Christopher Lloyd in it. Christopher Lloyd's in
yeah.
it too.
Okay,
It
well,
cost
I'll give it that.
$82 million to make.
Well, that
No,
looks
65 cap.
Oh my God.
$65 million went into that, and it looks like shit.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
They couldn't even get basic animation right for it either.
Well,
It's like the room.
The fact for that
It's like
is
the
that they
room of
could.
animated movies.
The fact is they couldn't use all the what they called like the mascots for all the products that they were having. That they had the what's he called, the Twinkie guy. They had him, but they didn't Mr. Clean and all that. They didn't have the rights to, so they just made all of them look obnoxiously ugly.
Yep.
That is
Not intentionally.
I'm so confused. Okay. All right. Now I have nerd confusion. I don't know if that's.
There's another one you need to make, Dave. Nerd confusion.
Nerd confusion.
Like part of my spinal cord feels like it's in another dimension.
Ow.
How does that?
Okay, so let's come back to like some predictions or whatever, because I don't think we've quite done like any predictions at all. Like what like the easy one I thought is like what do we think the state of the DCU, the MCU, where will they be in a year's time? Because these are ongoing things. Or who do we think, if we had to pick someone that is going to be cast as James Bond or something? Let's get at least one prediction in here that we can fact check if we were right in a year's time. Tim.
MCU is going to make some announcements based around Bob Iger's management. They won't have any projects coming out, but it'll be like, oh, thank God that sort of it's getting back on track.
Maybe.
I'm not sure about that thing though. It's like I think Bob kind of left at the time Disney was like going through a little bit of a difficult time. It's like at that moment, but I think the new guy made the worst decision, like not paying Scarlett Johansson and everything like that. But the thing is, like, Bob was like in the middle of the starting thing where he's like the company was trying to lose itself with the fans. But I don't know. He did the one thing I liked Bob did, I think, in his later years, was that he bought Hamilton and he did the Disney streaming service, which was the thing that I actually liked about one of the best decisions I think he made. In the early 2000s, he's like did Mulan and everything, but he's also responsible for the Disney remake. So I'm not sure. I don't feel good or bad about all of this.
I would like to throw my 10 cents in that I have no respect for Chapek because he gave himself a pay rise and didn't give any to people who work for him.
No, look, I don't know anything about this, but that just gave me respect for him. That's the sensible thing to do.
No, you get no. So, the majority of the money for him goes to the park that comes from the parks, and he gave himself a pay rise and didn't give any to any of the parks. This is speaking as an employee. This is how annoyed we are.
Wow. Okay, I've got a list here. I've searched up movies 2023 list, and we can just see if we think these are going to be like a good one, a good movie, or a bad movie. What we say, hit or miss. So we've got apparently there is a film that's called Wonka. I didn't even know there was a new Willy Wonka. Who's playing Willy Wonka in it?
Oh, Timothy
Chalamet.
Oh, that's the person that everyone always mentions that I've never heard of.
Who?
The guy that's playing the lead character in Dune.
Oh, I don't even know who that guy is.
Okay.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know him enough to make a judgment now.
I think make it now, Dave. Make it now. Make it now.
Dave, he was also in films like Call Me by Your Name. He was in Don't Look Up with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, guys, copyright claims. What we got? Watch that sound. Did anyone hear that?
Yeah,
I heard it.
Okay. Right. Yeah. No. God. So Timothy Chalamet. So are we going to say collectively Wonka? Is it a hit or a miss?
Miss.
I say miss, but I'm not sure about the world.
Definitely a miss. What about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse?
Hit.
I think it's going to be a hit, but I think people are all going to agree that it's not as good as the first one.
I do too, because I think I've seen the animation of Tom Holland as Spider-Man in the universe, and he doesn't look that great to me.
Oh my God, I haven't seen that trailer. They've got Tom Holland in it.
Yep.
They got multiple Spideys in that one.
Yeah, no, they've got like 1,000, but I didn't know they finally, because they planned to have like the past Spider-Man in it originally, and then that probably was what gave them the idea to do it like that.
I didn't think the animated version of Tom Holland looked that great.
Wait, there's a new Hunger Games film coming out.
You're kidding.
The Hunger Games, The Ballads of Songs and Snakes. Is this for real?
You're kidding.
Songbirds and Snakes. Wow.
A spin-off and a prequel.
Wow.
This is insane. Wait, so who's even in it? Because it was showing.
So is it kind of like? So is it like kind of like what the Purge did, where they did like a film showing, oh, this is the first Purge. Are they just going to show like, right, this is how we're going to do the Hunger Games. This is how we're going to feed people.
Yeah, Jesus, look at that. They've actually released a trailer for it, so it's the actual thing. It's coming out. Go away, Timothy Chalamet. Right. Okay, what do we think? Is Guardians of the Galaxy 3 going to be good, or is this just going to be the last hurrah of James Gunn before he goes off on his Suicide Squad mission?
I think the last hurrah, because Guardians has done really. I think Guardians has done really well for itself, like on as its own thing, separate from any Avengers stuff. Guardians has done really well for itself.
I feel like it's going to be. I don't know. I'm a little trepid. I don't know.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be.
Last hurrah.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be a meh. It's not gonna be that great. It's not gonna be bad. It's gonna be a meh.
Okay. What about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania? Is this going to be the one that actually gives us lots of parallel dimension stuff where Doctor Strange didn't?
I think that one might be good.
It's going to do what Everything Everywhere. What was the title again? It's trying to do that, but I don't think it's going to do well.
Did people like Everything Everywhere all at once?
They should.
I never saw it. I don't think.
I found it hard going. Like, I think I need to watch it at least once or twice more to truly get it. Seemed interesting though. But people were saying that was like the really good parallel dimension film. We also have the Marvels coming out. Are we thinking hit or miss?
Miss.
Yeah, I'm thinking miss as well.
Well, it's got Ms. Marvel in it.
It could have the original Ms. Marvel in it. It's still going to be bad.
I couldn't finish the Ms. Marvel show. I didn't care.
Wow. It got better. It got better. What
You
about...
guys are saying, like Captain Marvel, so I wouldn't call it a miss. I'd call it a misses.
A Mrs. Marvel. Booyah. Right. Okay. What about
Sorry.
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey?
Yes,
Hit.
that's going to be a hit.
Hit.
That's going to be a hit. I know someone who's been in that film.
You know someone in that film?
Is it Winnie the Pooh?
In the film, I know someone
Winnie
No,
the
it's
Pooh,
not. It's
Blood
not.
and Honey.
Do you work with Pooh too, Danny?
Hang on. Let's just look this up so we can see Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Winnie the Pooh, Blood.
Although
and...
I'm thinking about Tigger. What happened to Tigger? If all the animals
You
are
don't
gone
want to know
carnivore?
what happened to
there's-
everyone.
Wait, they've got to save Tigger for the sequel, surely.
Because like he's a tiger. If there's anyone going carnivore, he's going to be the biggest one.
Well, Tigger will be the first one to die.
Do you know what? I feel tempted to like. I've got like an idea of like where this. I haven't got too long left because we've got the other show coming up. But I feel tempted to like save this for like another thing, another episode. But to talk about like something like Winnie the Pooh, obviously they can make this horror film based on it because it went out of copyright. Next year, on January 1st, Mickey Mouse goes out of copyright.
Well,
it's like
Do you want to know?
I personally
another fun
feel.
thing.
There was
I
a
personally feel that they should have been able to prevent this from happening.
there was a
They
Grinch
will.
horror. There was a
They
Grinch
will.
horror movie too.
Who?
A Grinch.
Oh my God! You not see? How did the Grinch go out of copyright?
I don't know, but it's called The Mean One. Look it up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
The thing is,
Yeah.
though, that Winnie the Pooh's never really been copyrighted. He's public domain.
Ah.
No, he isn't. Winnie the Pooh
the
became public domain last year.
Yeah. Can I just say that the producers who made Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, I'm going to offer a spoiler to you guys. The next project, since another Disney character went out of copyright recently, they're going to be remaking. They're going to be making a horror version of Bambi.
How did Bambi go out of copyright?
I
Bambi's
don't know,
not
but
as old as
that's one of the future projects coming up.
The original
Isn't Bambi already a horror film? Think about it.
It's the
Well,
original.
yeah, I think you're right there.
It's
Ken.
not Disney's version of the character. It's the original Bambi.
Wait, so
Yeah.
Bambi existed before Disney?
Yeah.
Yeah, where do you think
Yeah.
Disney got most of their ideas from?
Like
Everything for
Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh is not Disney.
I didn't know this.
Winnie the Pooh is a set of books by A.A. Milne.
Yeah, but it
Like
only
very-
went out of copyright last year, surely. I'm sure
Yeah, I
this
think
is the
so.
thing. Maybe I'm wrong on it. You know, I'm not gonna die on this hill.
I think
Right.
it's not so much the character Winnie the Pooh, but I think it's the version that Disney made that went out of copyright.
Yeah.
I don't
So
think
the
so.
yellow-
Right, we're going to end up.
Well,
We'll come back to this another week. I think that the book went out of copyright last year, and that's how they could announce this. But I might be wrong because I was reading. The reason I brought this up is because I was reading about it recently, and I thought it had only just gone out of copyright. I don't think the Disney version has gone out of because if Steamboat Willie is only going to go out of copyright next year. Okay, Dave's shaking his head. He is our
Yeah,
Disney
it's-
expert, obviously.
I'm looking forward.
Because if Winnie the Pooh was gone, he would not have been out during the whole of Christmas season.
Well, I'm looking forward to the horror movie based on Elmer Fudd myself.
I would say this though. Disney will not lose Mickey Mouse to the public domain because here's the thing. There was an animation they actually did. They actually did make an animation of Mickey Mouse turning into something like the Hulk, going angry, and they didn't like it and they took it off. Okay, they made the cartoon. They didn't like it because it showed Mickey in a negative way, and they took it off. I'm not going to think that they're going to make Mickey fall in the public domain and someone make a horror movie out of it.
But the point is, they're not supposed to have a choice.
Well,
Because, like, you know, just go into like the tiny bit of the nitty gritty of it. Because I've had like copyright issues frequently. I've looked this stuff up a lot because obviously I had a copyright strike on the channel for something that was in the public domain. And it's different, obviously, for US and UK and other places in the world. But it used to be that copyright was 28 years. And then Disney literally are the ones that got it to be 50 years, then 75 years. And I believe in the US at the moment, copyright is 95 years. Hence why Steamboat Willie will be out of copyright next year. And it's
They
like,
will pay it and they will make it even more.
I think there should be some sort of provision where if something it has got, like how, and I don't know if you guys have this, I assume you have this in America or whatever, but like how in the UK we have listed buildings where it's like this building is protected because of its historical significance or whatever. I think there should be something that, like, with a super high standard where you should be able to apply to have copyright protection, and Mickey Mouse should never go out of copyright because Disney's whole brand. Imagine if you're at Disneyland, like obviously Dave, imagine you're at Disneyland and there's like Mickey Mouse, and there's been like some horror film where he's slaughtering people. It's like that's destroying their brand. Everyone wants in on this. Marty.
Well, I was just going to say, I saw the news the other day that Sherlock Holmes is going into the public domain in the US, but not in the UK.
Wow.
That's fascinating. Well, the thing is about this, and I will come to you in one moment, Danny, because I can throw in an extra thought on this. I couldn't have told you that it was the US and not the UK. With Sherlock Holmes, what's happened this year, again, 4 days ago, January 1st, is the last book of Sherlock Holmes has now gone out of copyright. Sherlock Holmes has been out of copyright for his first appearance and some subsequent appearance for several years. But like when they made Enola Holmes on Netflix with Henry Cavill as Sherlock Holmes, the Sherlock Holmes, Arthur Conan Doyle's estate tried to block the movie and sue them and want royalties and stuff because they said that some of the characteristics that Henry Cavill portrayed of being more compassionate and more human were things from the last novel, and that was still in copyright. And they lost because they said that like a generic feature such as generosity and kindness is not copyrightable. But now he's completely out of copyright. It's seen in the US and you say not in the UK. It means that anyone can use Sherlock Holmes entirely. But so it's like a couple of years ago when The Wizard of Oz books went out of copyright. In the books, Dorothy had silver slippers. They weren't ruby red. So you can't use ruby red slippers on Dorothy, but you can use the original version. But anyway, Danny, you were going to say.
I was going to say it's interesting that you you say that people can't use Mickey Mouse for like a horror film or whatever. However, you guys, I'm going to assume that most of us here have heard of the game Five Nights at Freddy's, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there is a not a version of Five Nights at Freddy's, but there is a similar game in the style of Five Nights at Freddy's, using Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Minnie, Goofy, Daisy, Pluto, Oswald, who used to be Disney but now he's not. They use all of these Disney characters in this Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff, and they made a sequel about it as well. And I don't think they had the permission to do that, but
yeah, and there's Willy's Wonderland with Nicolas Cage too. The movie.
Ooh, that was good.
There are ways that you
that
can.
Was good. That was Nicolas Cage beating down puppets. That was an awesome film.
Terrible.
He never talked.
He never talks. Yeah. There are ways you can get around some degree of copyright legally, though. So, and it's if it's satire or parody. Oh my God, what was that? Or a dinosaur entered the stream. But if you remember, if anyone saw it, one of my favorite films of the last year was the Chipmunks. Like, what was it? Rescue Rangers, rather, not the Chipmunks. They are Chipmunks. You know what I mean? The Rescue Rangers, and they had Ugly Sonic based on the bad CGI of the trailer of Sonic the Hedgehog. I'll bring it up. Ugly Sonic. And they didn't have permission.
And they were able to do that?
I did see it.
Okay, hang on. Let me bring up Ugly Sonic from. So this is great if I bring it on the screen.
I love the running gags. So
there is the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer on the right here, and that's what was officially being made by Sega and whoever was making it. And then in the Rescue Rangers film,
I gotta get going, guys.
Version of Ugly Sonic,
oh, God,
and they called him Ugly Sonic. Oh, did we lose Tim?
No.
Oh,
please get rid of that. That's horrifying. I'm gonna have nightmares tonight now.
But don't Sony owns it? How did they was able to use it?
Because it was a parody. Because they literally called it Ugly Sonic, and because it was not exactly the same. Like again, if I bring it up, you'll see here they gave him like a beer belly, and they purposely made it so he was slightly different. There was enough differences that they could get away with it, basically, like legally. And so there probably are ways where you can have Mocky Mouse and Dinald Doc and stuff like this and get away with it a little bit. But
It's
anyway,
like
hang
that
on, Jimmy Mack
Simpsons
has given us
episode.
this comment. Jimmy Mack says Disney practically writes copyright law in this country. They won't give up Mickey. The book version of Pooh is out of copyright. They can't show him with the Disney red shirt. So there you go.
No,
Right.
he has the green one in the books.
Ah,
It's like that episode from The Simpsons where they hire that babysitter, Sherry Bobbins, and Homer's about to ask her, "Are you? Did you say Mary? But no, I didn't say Mary Poppins. I'm an original character like Ricky Rouse and Monald Muck."
yeah.
That's funny.
Do you remember when Disney sued Marvel? I don't know if they ever sued him, but they made Howard the Duck start wearing pants so that he didn't look like Donald Duck.
Wow, no, I didn't know this.
Yep.
Well, with the,
I mean, that's good
with,
judgment.
with Black Panther out, they can't use the name Namor.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is the deal with that? Why can't they use Namor?
So I don't know the whole logistics of it. You might be able to look. Someone on the internet will be able to look up it quicker than me. But as far as I'm aware, Universal owns the rights to Namor, so they had to change it so that they had to change his whole origin to Namor. I've had this whole argument with someone at work.
But there was a news item the other day saying that Disney is going to have the rights from Universal by the end of this year.
Well, okay, so is this like the thing with Sony and the Spider-Man things? Couldn't Universal just start producing a Namor movie and then they keep it? Because isn't that what Fox did with the 1994 Fantastic Four movie?
And also
They made a
Sony
whole
did with
film that they
Spider-Man.
never intended to release.
Also, that they did with Spider-Man. Sony was about to lose it, and they did Spider-Verse.
Well, and I mean, they can say Namor, obviously, because even though he pronounces it Namor, you hear Shuri and other people say Namor throughout the film. I think it was Submariner that they couldn't use.
Ah. So, like, basically, accents are different. So if they just get a Scottish guy and he's like, Namor.
God, that'd be like turn into like what happened with Love and Thunder. Just Namor coming out of the sea with a kilt, you know?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
He has his little wings on his feet, and you just see the kilt.
Playing bagpipes made out of shells and octopuses.
Hey guys, I am just aware of the time. There is meant to be extreme improv extremed in about 7 minutes. So I'm literally in the wrong virtual studio here.
Okay.
So we should begin to wrap this one up. So let's find out where we can find everyone on the socials. Starting with Marty, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at What Would Jesus Glue, and you can find me here on Extreme. Not today, but I'll be on tomorrow's show.
Okay, hang on. I just realised I haven't tried all these controls. Oh, look at that. Capital Fave's gone half off the screen. Shouldn't have done that. There it is. Right. Oh, wow. I could have zoomed in this whole time.
What?
Oh, man. Look at that. Now it's just me. I've lost everyone.
Ah!
Oh, you're back. Okay, now should have tried some of these. Oh, now it's just got me. Okay, so it says spotlight. How do I spotlight people? I literally wrote a book on this, and I have it in StreamYard in a few months.
It's right there.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. So okay, that's cool. Okay, so anyway, let's go on to this. We lose a little bit of real estate, but we're here. Capital Fave, where can the people find you?
I can't bring up the background, so you can find me at SWAT Deeds, spell it out, where there's a new video of me and the Blueberry reacting to Muppet memes. So watch that. It's really good.
Yeah, no, like, so I appreciate everyone that I threw everyone like this last minute spanner of, we're in a new studio. If we need to work out some of the bugs and stuff, if there's a ton of stuff we can't do, then we can always revert back. But I quite like what we can do on here. Danny O'George, where can the people find you?
Sure. So you can find me on Instagram and Twitter, currently at Danny Unplanned. I say currently because I'm considering a rebrand, but you can also find me on Twitch at Downby Danny. I'm still working out a streaming schedule so I can get back into it. You can also find me as part of Portsmouth Improv Experience, or PI if you like the literary anagram puns. We're on Facebook at Portsmouth Improv. We're doing a show in Southampton next month. So if you're in
Amazing.
the UK, come along. We're still sort of working out what date, but it's going to be at Southampton University. So
Danny, I just want to clarify. You're thinking of a rebrand, right? So
yeah.
would that not therefore make it Danny Planned?
Yeah, that would. But it doesn't.
would.
It doesn't sound. It doesn't sound as catchy. So
It doesn't. Okay, Dave, where can the people find you?
You can find me here on Geek Battle and Extreme Improv. Check out the video on SWAT Deeds with Capital Fev, where Mirti reacts to Muppet memes. I have no social media and that to promote right now, so just catch me on Extreme when you can.
Okay, is there anyone I've not been to? Like, obviously, today's been slightly different. We've attempted to do some predictions. We've spoken about a bunch of things, got into deep copyright law. So I'm just going to announce that Tim is this week's Geek of the Week. I think it's fair. Right.
Okay.
So, Tim, you're the Geek of the Week. We literally didn't do one like game where you get points. In fact, I think I said a bonus point to Tim, so it is fair that
He's here. He's here in the chat.
Is Tim
I
here?
like.
Oh wait, hang on. I thought Tim left. Tim, you're back.
oh,
I had a quick phone call.
Oh
Apologies.
no, I
Tim
thought you'd
next game
literally have to leave, and I just didn't let you in the room.
No, that
Tim,
was
Oh
my
my god, he did the sneak attack and took the win.
Thank you for the win. Yay. Wait,
Yeah, you're the only one I gave a point to.
Because there's
Where
just
can the
many
people
more.
find you, Tim?
You can find me on Potato Based Instagram, also at Timothy Killalea, TimothyKillilea. It's a lot of syllables. Yeah, and you can find me in Warwick at Bring Your Own Improv, Warwick, Rhode Island, every Friday.
Amazing stuff. Okay, my name is David Postansky. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Postansky, spelled Pustansky. You can also get books, but I'm going to point this one out because this is the guide to creating virtual theatre shows. Today, I have put the proof of the pudding into the making or whatever, into the eating, because I've tried something new. So in a minute, we're gonna have Extreme Improv Extremes where we'll be using Zoom, but for this, I was using StreamYard. And yeah, so still ironing out a couple of the bugs, but I quite like some of the stuff that you can do on here. And with that, and also it meant that today, you know, I want to thank everyone that's taken the time to to subscribe on the Extreme Improv YouTube channel. Not quite at the 1,000, but a huge growth over the last month with that campaign. So I will continue on just for a little bit more. We're about 75 away from the monetization zone, so it's almost become a reality. But this episode is also streaming live on the Geek Battle YouTube channel. So there's going to be tons of exclusive content coming up on there and some like not quite daily shows, and it might even be called the Not Quite Daily Show, just reacting to some geek stuff that's going on. And I'm sure at times I'm just going to say to these guys, let's react to a trailer, and then we'll just pop up for a minute. So check that out. And we were also live for the first time on the Geek Battle Facebook page. So do check that out as well. So with that, from me, from everyone else, stay safe, always stay extremes, live long and prosper. Now I need to work out how to actually stop the show because I can't remember. So banners, brand, here we go. And here's a logo. And let's turn up some music. And we're going to be off the air. Boom.